Greetings, everyone. Thank you all for being here with me this evening for this very special episode of the RathCo original program, The GamerZone. I am your host, as well as the creator of RathCo, RobertDRATH, and I'm here tonight to pay tribute to a game series that I consider to be one of the greatest ever made, one that truly made a very positive impact on the man I am today, Capcom's Resident Evil series. It all began back when I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I know many of you have heard this story already. I was over at my grandmother's house playing on my aunt's Sony PlayStation, which she had just gotten recently, as it was the latest and greatest console of its time. And the game I chose to play? Well, Resident Evil 2, of course. Now, at that moment, I had no idea that it was a survival horror game, or even what a survival horror game was. I also did not know that it would soon scare the ever-living piss right out of me. So, you know that part in the game when you obtain the unicorn medal from the STARS office on the second floor? Well, on the way back, zombie arms pop out of a few sets of boarded up windows, and when that happened, I screamed like a little girl, dropped the controller, and ran out of the room. But from that day on, from that moment on, I became completely obsessed with all things zombies, as well as all things Resident Evil. So sit back, relax, and let's delve deeper into the legacy of Capcom's masterpiece series, Resident Evil. Welcome to the GamerZone. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride, folks. Now follow me as we step through the large wooden double doors of the Resident Evil universe.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special STARS unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. But the Umbrella Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
Greetings, everyone. I'm your host, RobertDRATH, and I hope that you are enjoying this episode of the GamerZone. Now, as I stated before, Capcom's Resident Evil franchise means the world to me, mainly because it is such a pivotal and important staple of my childhood. From the point that I got the shit scared out of me by the game, by the original Resident Evil 2 from 1998, I became obsessed with all things zombies and all things Resident Evil, to the point where a lot of my like-minded friends, which I only had about 2 or 3 back then, but my like-minded friends and I would make believe and use our imaginations, combined with sticks on the ground as guns and whatnot, to play our own little version of Resident Evil when we were younger, you know, because there's wide fields right behind my neighborhood, which was the ideal spot for it. And, you know, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times. But more importantly, all of that created a ton of nostalgic memories. So when I say that I am grateful to Capcom for the Resident Evil franchise, it goes way beyond being just skin deep. You know what I mean? This game, this series, whatever the hell you want to call it, made a very positive impact on the man that I became and the man that I am today. And as you folks know, I love all things Resident Evil to this day. I'm actually searching for my keys because I have my Umbrella keychain on them that I wanted to show you folks, but I've been obsessed with all things Resident Evil. I love the films, even though they did not really follow the games super closely. Parts of them did, you know, in I don't want to say Afterlife. The Resident Evil film Afterlife, I can't think of what it's called, but Leon was in it, along with a couple other faces. Barry was in it from the first Resident Evil. So it's come a long way since the late 90s. The initial story, for those of you who don't know, the original Resident Evil game takes place in the Spencer Estate, or the Spencer Mansion, which is located in the Arklay Mountains, which is all part of Arklay County, which encompasses Raccoon City and a few small towns called Rockford, and I forgot the other ones, but Rockford is one of them. It encompasses a large area known as Arklay County. So the first game entails the Stars Alpha Team and Bravo Team. First, the Bravo Team is sent in, and their chopper crashes. Or maybe it's the Alpha Team. All I know, one of the teams, sorry, my memory's a little hazy, one of the Stars teams go in, their helicopter crashes, and they lose communication, causing them to send in the next Stars team to investigate. And warning, spoiler alert, I'm about to spoil a lot of stuff in the first game, so if you haven't played it and you don't want it spoiled, I would mute your TV for the next couple minutes. Okay, so during the first game, you discover that Albert Wesker is the traitor that is behind everything, and in subsequent games, and as portrayed in the films, he turns out to be an evil bastard. But, ironically, I did not start with the first game. I started with the second game, as I was saying. So, why don't we check out some footage and gameplay from the second game and some of the iconic moments that I absolutely love. Speaking of which, I want to talk about those moments. Marvin Brana, the officer that you run into in Resident Evil 2. Now, in the original, you run into him as you enter the police station. You go into the only unlocked door in the lobby, which is the single door off to your left-hand side and up that little ramp. Now, in the remake, you enter the police station and Marvin Brana is, he shows up after you crawl underneath a shutter, which is directly to the right of where you come in. And when on your return trip, when you come out of the shutter, you're struggling, and Leon's leg gets grabbed by a zombie. Marvin Brana comes up and squashes the zombie using the gate, smashes the zombie's skull in, and pulls Leon out. Then another cutscene ensues where he further explains what he's doing there and how he came to be in the situation that he's in. In the first game, it goes a little differently. Let's check out the footage.
Oh, man. Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled. What happened? About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving zombies in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this started to happen. Hang in there. Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine, but I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
You're safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Brana.
Leon Kennedy. There was another off strike. I couldn't...
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is good news. We can get you to a hospital.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I'd just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
I can't take him.
Stop. And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now that we've taken a look at a few of the similarities and the differences with Marvin Branagh's portion of the game, I want to delve a little bit deeper into Resident Evil by telling you about the I guess you could call it, before Resident Evil 2. Now, obviously, in the 90s, the original Resident Evil was the first game. However, years later came a game called Resident Evil 0, which actually takes place even earlier than the Mansion incident. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Spencer Estate or Spencer Mansion was actually built in the early to mid-60s, 1960s, by a man named George Trevor. George Trevor was an architect who designed it, and he had it riddled with all kinds of traps and pitfalls and puzzles and whatnot as a countermeasure to keep people away from the laboratory underneath the mansion. The laboratory was concealed by the mansion, also guarded by the mansion. But before that, there was a train called the Ecliptic Express, which was it would bring people on, I'm assuming it brought people directly to the mansion or to the area around it or the surrounding area. But anyway, the Ecliptic Express was a train owned by the Umbrella Corporation, which has to do with Resident Evil 0. So, next up, why don't we take a look at some of the original game trailers for Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3. Now, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to show you the trailers from the original games, and then we will show you the trailers from the remakes. After that, we'll have more Resident Evil goodness as we check out. I want to see just how far the rabbit hole goes with in terms of Resident Evil games, so I'm going to try to calculate exactly how many games across all platforms, including PC, that they've made, and I'm going to try to go over each one, give you a little brief description of them, the ones that I know anyways. My favorites, the ones that I have played, are the original 1, 2, and 3. I played Resident Evil 0. I have played the remakes for 1, 2, and 3, and I own them. I do not have the remake for 4, but I played Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6. I own those 3. I played Revelations 2. I own Revelations 2. I played Outbreak and Outbreak File 2, but I do not own either of them. I have played Resident Evil Dead Aim, which I have for a PS2 emulator, and I have played Resident Evil Code Veronica X, which I have an emulator for. I also played Resident Evil Gaiden on, I believe it was for the Game Boy Advance, or one of those portable systems. And I played the Umbrella Chronicles very briefly on the Wii. And that concludes my... Oh, and I played the Resident Evil 1.5 remake, which is a fan-made game, which was pretty kick-ass. And I believe that concludes my perusal of Resident Evil games. I've also played Resident Evil Resistance, which is a multiplayer type deal available on Steam. So, let's check out some trailers, shall we?
It began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
A train?
passengers, 23 people.
Who's controlling the train?
She's just a rookie, a member of STARS.
Resident Evil 0.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
You haven't found it?
No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Hey! Come here!
Run for that house!
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
What happened?
By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving these zombie-like creatures. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything, at the risk of their own lives. But no one believed them. Chris, Jill, Barry. Every last STARS team member has disappeared.
Who are you?
Ada Wong. My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant, near the city limits.
I won't let anyone take the G-Virus away from me.
G-Virus?
Its potential is even greater than that of the T-Virus.
The monster that's been tearing my precinct apart is yet another product of the G-Virus. An ultimate bioweapon.
Okay, folks, well, I sincerely hope that you enjoyed all of the great Resident Evil goodness that we've seen thus far. It has occurred to me that the Resident Evil tribute portion of the GamerZone video or episodes is going to be a multi-episode portion. So we covered news and trailers about Resident Evil 0, the original first game, and the original Resident Evil 2 in this episode. So, now we're going to end the Resident Evil tribute portion of this GamerZone episode, and we're going to move on, because before I end this episode, I've got some little tip and tricks, little blooper videos, and a little bit of tips and tricks information on another one of my favorite games called Myst Survival. So let's check that out, shall we? Here it is. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the RathCo Gaming channel, and as you can see, this is Myst Survival, and I'm actually able to play it again, so let's get right to it. We're going to start a new game. But first, we're going to make sure that these settings are all correct. Anti-aliasing off, motion blur off, save, back to main menu. I'm going to go to settings again, make sure it's saved it, medium, off and off. Okay, back to main menu. New game. Okay, 3 years ago, mysterious thing happened, yada yada yada. Why do I hear bears already? Why? Folks, we might have to start all over again. I have a feeling I'm going to be killed before the game even starts. He survived and escaped into the night, a new day dawns. Oh, yeah! Wow, what bullshit is that? What type of bullshit was that, ladies and gentlemen? Now, let's try this again. New game. Stupid ass bears. Oh boy. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed that little blooper, that little whoopsie of mine there. By the way, that was starting a new game, like that was not scripted or planned or anything, it just happened to happen that way. Anyways, I would just like to say thank you all so very, very much for watching this episode of the GamerZone. I know that it's been a very long time since I've uploaded an episode of the GamerZone, but fear not, there will be much more to come, and be on the lookout for the next episode, the very next episode of the GamerZone, so that you don't miss part 2 of our Resident Evil tribute. Because for part 2 of the tribute, we're going to be checking out some gameplay of the original Resident Evil 2 original and Resident Evil 3 original, along with some cutscenes and trailers and all kinds of fun Resident Evil stuff. So we're even going to be delving into the Resident Evil movies eventually. So needless to say, this Resident Evil tribute is going to be definitely a multiple issue. It's going to be a segment that's going to be found in probably all episodes of the GamerZone. Anyway, please be sure to like and subscribe, turning on all notifications for RathCo Gaming. You can also follow us on TikTok by looking up Robbie Rath and look for My Ugly Mug. That being said, I consider each and every one of you a member of the RathCo family of gamers and friends. You all have my love, support, and respect, as I know I have yours. And again, RathCo would be nothing without each and every one of our fans, subs, viewers. All you guys rock. We would be nothing without you. I would be nothing without you. So thank you so much for making my channel what it is today. As we approach 300 subscribers and 1,000 video uploads, you all made it possible, and you all gave me the inspiration and the motivation to do so. So thank you so much. And now I'm going to roll some credits, because I would like to pay credit to the YouTube channels in which I got those trailers from. And I will include the links to them in this episode's description, in the description below. Take care now, and I'll see you next time. Don't get bit, watch out for zombies, and I'll see you on the flip side. Later.